Yeah, I'm on lots of reactin.
Yeah, for sure. Hey!
Oh, hello.
All right. Okay, well, welcome to, oh, please take that one.
I can't take the front seat. Your nose you can see.
Your mic on?
Yeah, it's on.
Okay, great. We're also streaming to, I don't know, 70 people or something like that right now, so that's great. So now we can answer some questions. And somebody on the chat just gave me $5, so anybody who wants to just pass me $5, that'd be sweet. No,
Yeah, we'll have like a church-style
yeah,
basket coming around.
So usually whenever we do these videos, we do some YouTube videos. Claire and I, my name is Dean, this is my wife Claire.
Yeah, I'm Claire.
Or rather, I am her husband. And which is a more...
Yeah, you're my husband, and I'm nobody's thing.
That's true. You don't belong to anybody except for yourself.
You belong to me.
So usually what we do is we'll start by, I'll usually start by saying welcome to our apartment. But now, because we're not in our apartment, unless we get quarantined in this building, which is, I mean, you never know. Welcome to this clinic. And usually I start by saying something stupid that Claire has done lately. Not to say that you are stupid, but sometimes stupid things happen in our apartment. So I might say, welcome to the clinic. Yesterday Claire spilled a bunch of sauce all over her pants and then walked around like it was totally fine.
Yeah.
And you walked and you spilled so much sauce on your pants.
I spilled garlic sauce all over my pants.
Not these pants, but...
and we were out and about, so I just had to walk around with...
We were out and about, and we had to...
Like horrible stains.
So we're going to go through some Paul Gilbert stuff today.
Yeah.
We did this sight reading challenge a few days ago, and it was really, really hard.
It was terrible.
We haven't put up a video of it yet, but it was like us looking at a tab and just trying to do it the first time we see it.
Yeah.
And it was fail, fail, fail.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Did you do as badly as you anticipated, or even worse?
I felt like I was going to come in and be all super great at it, and I blew it. So it's like, I don't know. I guess I did worse than I was anticipating.
I think I also did worse.
Yeah.
Hi guys,
hello.
come on.
So we're going to go over some other Paul Gilbert stuff. I'm going to play, it's basically like a solo that I've loved since I was a kid.
Does everybody here know who Paul Gilbert is?
Yeah, for anybody that doesn't. Paul Gilbert is one of my favorite guitar players ever. He's 80s rock, heavy metal kind of guy. And he does lots of, who here plays guitar? Guitar. Okay, cool. So he does lots of alternate picking, he's the alternate picking kind of guy. And that's how I learned a lot of my technique and stuff. So I'm going to play just from my phone because we're just doing a small little thing here. I'm going to play just part of this solo. And I've watched this video so many times.
Yeah,
and
awesome.
So
he has really cool pants on.
He has really funny pants. He's got really, really tight pants. So we'll do a wardrobe change halfway through.
Yeah, we do have a wardrobe change.
Both of us struggle with that word. Yeah. So basically, I want to go over some of this stuff.
I'm not going to play it that well. Let's just...
No. Well, neither of us will, I don't think. That's just some examples. I have a...
She's so good.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
So we're going to go over some of that stuff. I actually have a Songster tab up, and we're going to take turns just going through trying to learn some of the shapes. If you guys have any questions about any of the stuff that we're doing, just ask. I'm also going to keep an eye on some questions online. Lots of people are saying hello. We have 130 people watching right now, which is really great. So what a great turnout for a clinic.
There we
go. For everybody watching online, what is there, 10 people here, 12 people? 10. Let's say 10,000 people watching us now. Okay, sweet. So we're just going to start and try this guy. Oh, no, I need the... Oh, there you go. Okay, cool. So the first section, can I start? Oh, it looks like you're already starting. Okay, cool. Can I try?
Yeah.
All right, cool. I know you don't really like the blues.
No. You're definitely outing me in front of people.
I also don't really like the blues, so I'm not really big into the blues, but it's
Yeah, I just immediately noticing pentatonic shapes, which is not something I ever play around in. I live in harmonic minor, and that's kind of it.
This seems to be a cool kind of sequence. Not everybody can see, except for us, the tab. Yeah. Nobody online can either see the tab either, but we'll see if we can just make it sound kind of cool. What do you got?
Why don't we put... You want to try to do the
Is there
second?
any way you could email me the tab? I can
For
just
sure.
print it out for everybody.
I feel like, you know what? I feel like I could probably play it right now.
Yeah, why don't you try the sight reading thing?
Let's try the sight reading thing. Here's here.
Wait, does it have a count-in? We can put a count-in on here.
It doesn't matter. I think it repeats. Just hit play.
It's gonna count in.
All right. All right. That is a really cool thing.
You did good.
Thank you so much. What do you got?
I'm not gonna be able to do that.
All right. Just show me what you got at your own tempo.
No, I'm gonna do the same thing as you.
All right. Go for a shot.
Not
Okay.
as good.
All right, cool. What's difficult about that?
It was fast.
Okay,
It was very
it's
fast.
pretty fast, yeah.
And I didn't catch on if there was a repeating pattern.
Yeah.
So I was just like trying to read each individual beat.
That's a big thing because whenever I hear something, if there's a repeating thing inside of it, that's like number one thing try to find. I know you
Yeah.
probably think about that too. Like there's been a couple
Yeah.
times where I try to learn something and you're like, there's no pattern, and then
Yeah,
I find a
but there-
pattern
but
and you're
there
like,
is a
oh, that
pattern.
makes it easy.
Yeah.
So, were you alternate picking that?
No, I was trying to do lots of legato. Like the tab says, legato.
I really don't follow tab notation too well. I just look at the numbers and then I kind of pick everything. But you were doing.
Does everybody here know the difference between alternate picking, economy picking, and legato, for example?
That's a good question.
No?
I don't know about legato the other two.
Okay.
Legato is lots of this stuff.
Like hammer-ons and pull-offs, so where you
Yeah.
just pick once and then the hand is just hammering on or pulling off?
Yeah, and usually you can think about it like one time per string. You could pick once per string.
But sometimes you don't have to do that if you're good enough at whacking it onto another string.
That's true.
Yeah.
If you're good enough at whacking it onto another string,
Yeah.
it's an
These
interesting
are-
choice
these
of
are- yeah,
words,
these
but
are
that's fine.
Professional terms.
These are professional musicians talking
Yeah.
about professional terms.
And then, yeah, alternate picking is just strictly always down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. And then
Yeah.
economy picking being whatever string you're going to next, you're moving in that direction. So you might be doing down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down.
I gotta say, I'm very impressed that you just explained that so well.
Did I explain it well?
You
I
did.
felt it was pretty bad.
When Claire and I met, your
I didn't
hand.
understand.
I recently said that your hand is kind of like your right hand is kind of like the Wild West.
Yeah.
It's like just anything kind of.
Anything goes.
But it seems like you have a really good handle on
I
exactly.
understand.
Right.
But the application is harder than the
Yeah.
understanding.
So, yeah, there's a lot more to do to the picking than that, but I guess the
And-
explanation you had is
yeah.
like really exactly what it is.
And I think everyone has like a default that is easiest for them. Like my hand will default to economy picking style.
Yeah, right.
Me doing strict alternate picking on riffs that could be easily played economy style is really hard. That's like one of the most difficult things for me.
What about this? Here's me alternate picking it. Actually, that's not even totally
Like
right.
I don't even want to try to alternate.
I want you to
pick
try it.
this riff. No, I really don't want to try.
Give it a shot,
I
alternate
feel-
pick, but like try it really slow because I feel like you could probably do it. That sounded
I don't
great.
know if I did it though. Like,
No,
I
it's
don't
right.
know.
Yeah, it sounded great. It sounded
Okay.
really even. That's one of the benefits about alternate picking is you get that really like even sort of sound. Because with economy picking, it's very easy to rush through certain notes.
Yeah.
But that sounded
Totally.
pretty good. You want to try to do it? You got it memorized?
No. It doesn't repeat. There's no repeating.
It does repeat. It does repeat. Try it like this. I'm playing it wrong, actually. I think that's it. Try it together. I messed it up. What are you playing?
I'm looking at the tab.
Okay, I'll do that too. Oh, nice. That was a great. Did everybody here know what pinch harmonics are? Pinch harmonics, yeah. Okay, so basically, if you're
That's
familiar
not
with
pinch harmonic.
Yeah, well, I mean, we could demonstrate it for sure.
Yeah,
The natural harmonic kind of sounds like this, right? And then a pinch harmonic is sort of like getting that, but over here, but using fretted notes. You're sort of like, because when you pinch harmonic, you definitely don't do it, you usually don't do it on an open string. That sounds bad. Maybe I'm just bad at it, I don't know. But when you're fretting a note, you don't really have the opportunity to hit this natural harmonic. So you fret a note, and then you sort of do it over here. So you're basically pinching the string at a ratio that makes sense to give it like this higher kind of note, sort of vibration.
Yeah.
So you're very obsessed with them.
I love pinch harmonics.
You love pinch
I
harmonics.
think that there's no number that's too many.
That's true.
You can
Yeah, that's
literally
true.
do them however much you want.
Yeah, you struggled the other day trying to learn something and adding pinch harmonics to pretty much every single note. And I was like, I don't think there's any pinch harmonics in here, but it does sound cool when you add them.
It sounds really cool.
Unless you're playing like acoustic and you're strumming and you're hitting pinch harmonics.
When
It's
I
not
looked
really
it up, it was something about using or taking out part of that vibration to remove a wavelength inside that note so that it increases.
Right.
It takes it and throws it up like another 12 pitches or something.
Oh,
Yeah,
cool.
well, because you can
and you can get different ones.
Yeah, you get different ones.
Yeah. So you can.
Depending on where you are between the pickups.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like you're basically the string vibrating has like a bunch of other stuff going on in it. It's
It's
not
the
just
harmonic series. Yeah.
it's the series of vibrations inside of a
When
string.
you guys do them, are you grazing like after your pick hits it, you graze it with your thumb
Yeah.
as you go by, right?
Yeah,
You touch
here,
it.
one second. So one of the people in this room, a very nice gentleman over here, is asking me how exactly to do a pinch harmonic. That's kind of the question, right?
Well, I know how to do them. It's just how I learned how to do them. I
Oh,
don't
okay.
know if there's more than one way.
And how do you do them?
I do that. I have the pick barely poking out. I kind of do this with the pick as
Right.
I pull through.
Yeah.
To get that tiny bit of the pick showing. And
Yeah.
As I graze by with my thumb, I'm hitting it. Sometimes I hit it with my thumbnail by accident.
Right.
It makes a different sound.
Different sound.
Mhm.
Yeah. I think you do it more with your knuckle, your tiny little knuckle
it like
with your tiny
hits
little
the side
hands.
of my thumb for me.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I have regular sized hands, and you'll notice that my hands, they're so regular sized that your hands are just really, really small.
I have tiny hands.
I also have tiny
Yeah,
hands.
Dean has small hands.
Okay, let's move
But
on
yeah,
to some,
pinch.
let's move on to
That
something
is
else.
how you get a pinch harmonic. Some people can get pinch harmonics on an upstroke. I can't.
Hoomst does that.
What's his name? Ben Eller can do
Don't
that.
snap at me.
Ben Eller can do that.
Ben Eller. Yeah, that's the dude that wears wigs and stuff like that and plays 80s style.
Does he wear wigs?
I don't know.
I didn't know he
I
wore
think
wigs.
so, yeah.
He does those
Like,
like
he looks
does
like-
rust finish looking guitars. They look
Oh,
really
yeah, right,
cool.
right.
They're like, I don't know, look like they're from Fallout or something.
Yes, I think it's actually
But yeah.
called the Fallout finish or something like that. It's
Oh,
like the
right, yeah.
something
But yeah,
Fallout
he can do pinch harmonic upstroke, which I don't understand that. Like maybe you're supposed to hit it with your finger
Right.
on the way up. I don't know.
I don't know either. So now we have 215 people watching on stream, which is just great.
Wow.
Yeah, I know, this is killer. You want to do the next series of Claire's struggling not to sneeze?
Yeah, my allergies are
Let's listen to this
kicking
next
up
part
a
real
notch.
quick. Oh, with the countdown.
Oh, cool. Yeah, that's doable.
Okay, cool. Okay. Just all confidence slips away. Does anybody have any questions about anything that we're doing or anything that we're playing? Hey, how's it going? Anyway,
Question for observation. Like, you guys are playing on these neat little lunch boxes.
yeah, they're kind of
How
cool.
gated are you guys right now?
Very gated. Well, not with the lead channel, less gated, but with my rhythm channel, it's like super gated
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, we're on lead channel, so they're not super gated, but we're
No.
both playing with little string mutes.
Yeah, these little string
So,
mute guys. But I mean,
That's
we're not
helping out a little bit.
we're not playing it this. It's sort of weird with guitar. Anytime you put this past the nut over here, it's all of a sudden cheating. But if you keep it over here, then it's not cheating. It's sort of stupid. Like
I don't
people
know.
are-
I've heard people think even this is cheating.
All this does is it clears up any sort of vibrations that happen after the nut, so that everything can sound a little bit cleaner. But
Practicing more than people on the internet is cheating.
yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So you got this?
Yeah, I got it. I
Do-
got it. I got it.
You want to try it out?
100% speed.
All right. Give it a shot.
Okay.
All right. Perfect.
Okay. Yeah.
All right,
I
cool.
nailed it.
Okay.
Absolutely nailed it.
Let me see if I can take a second to look at it. Unless you want me to just go for it and try it. All right, cool. You wanted me to go for it?
You're gonna go for it.
I think I got it anyway. It's a pentatonic
This guy.
minor scale. I think we got it.
This guy.
Let's try it. It's fast. Yeah. It's something I've practiced a lot.
I thought you were in the no pentatonic school with me.
You are very much so anti-pentatonic.
Yeah.
Anti-pentatonic. I've never said that before. I learned on pentatonic. You know, like that was like my thing. I feel like you skipped all that stuff.
I skipped, like I didn't learn.
Which is great.
You know how everybody says the first song you learn is Smoke on the Water? Wham, wham, wham.
Yeah.
I never learned that song until I started teaching here.
Right.
And I taught it to some students. I was like, that's probably, we'll start there.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
My first
I
song
skipped
was
a lot of that.
probably Crazy Train, but I was so bad at it. But yeah, but I mean, you went. I think the thing with your playing is that you went from. We both play in bands, by the way. I play in a band called Archspire, and she plays in a band called The Hallowed Catharsis.
Yeah.
And so you skipped a bunch of learning stuff in your career, and you went.
Arguably important steps.
Oh, for sure.
I skipped.
Yeah, but steps that you were like, you don't really.
I
you don't
fumbled and fell up the stairs. Is how I got to where.
Which is actually how you got into our apartment last night too. You just
That's
fumbled
true,
and just falling
That's how
all
I
over the
came
place.
into work today.
Yeah, exactly.
Stairs
yeah.
are. I don't
Yeah.
do well with stairs.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
But yeah, you skipped a bunch of that kind of bluesy, pentatonic-y kind of stuff,
Yeah.
which I think it's commendable.
Oh, okay.
I
It's
think it is.
commendable.
Well, that is the path that most other people take.
Maybe I'll pull a Paul Gilbert because he was like ultimate metal shred,
Mm-hmm.
and now he's pretty much exclusively like a bluesy guy.
That's true. He's a bluesy man.
Yeah.
You want to try this one more time?
You want to try it together, slower?
Yeah. You want to try it without tap? Let's try it without tap.
Without the tab.
Yeah. Oh,
I don't
you
have it
don't have it memorized.
Let's play it together.
All right, cool. Ready?
Yeah. Oh, and then we have to repeat again. That would be the hardest part, maybe. You gotta jump many strings.
The thing about it is that Paul Gilbert has these big hands, much like I do.
He has huge hands.
Yeah, he's got very big hands.
He's a massive person.
That's true.
I was not expecting his height.
Claire met
I
Paul
met
Gilbert
him
at
NAMM in January.
the North American Music Merchant.
It was pretty intimidating. I was very excited.
Yeah,
And he was
you were
very
excited.
well dressed. He had a very nice suit on, colorful glasses.
Hey.
He was looking good.
What was I looking? I understand. It was a long.
No, you had your wonderful shirt on that I picked out for you.
Claire recently convinced me to get a mustard-colored plaid.
Yeah.
Which I love now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You weren't convinced at first.
No, I wasn't convinced.
This has nothing to do with guitar.
That has plenty to do with guitar. I wear it while I'm playing guitar. Well, not right now, but.
Right.
Do you want to try the C minor arpeggio?
No, wait, the guitar.
Okay.
This one has string skipping, so I'm immediately like so much more scared.
Okay, so this is basically a shape that Paul Gilbert uses a lot.
Yeah.
He did this in the canon, Pachelbel's canon. I feel like that's wrong.
Pachelbel.
He does these shapes.
Yeah. The string skipping.
It's a string skipping.
Arpeggio shape.
Yeah. One of the things about Paul Gilbert too is he picks so hard, and his left hand is so strong that everything sounds like it's alternate picked, but it's actually not.
Not necessarily.
He actually does a lot of hammer-ons, but they're just so sharp that it's like, I don't know, it's something. He just has really strong hands, so it makes it sound like it's crazier, but really there's plenty of legato in there. You got that? You're using your ring finger up there. I feel like that's
On 12?
that'll be your doom.
On 12.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
we got 13 on the G. So why would you do pinky? I don't like that. I don't like that. I'd probably mess it up. I'd end up going 13. Okay.
That's how I would play it. I'm not saying yours is wrong. I'm just saying like how I would play it would be not the way that you are currently playing. That looks great.
Oh.
Let's listen to it real quick. See if we can get it a little louder. Check it out. So the pattern of it. It's very, very quiet, but that's fine. I'll just play it. So that's the repeating part.
But you see this has a ending 1.
Yeah.
And it doesn't quite do that.
Okay, so let me see if I can pick it apart a little bit. Oh, it has a turnaround there. That's what it is. Yeah, that guy.
Would you hybrid pick any of this?
Oh yeah. Does anybody here not know what hybrid picking is? Okay, cool. So hybrid picking is it's basically you're using these other fingers. Most of the time, somebody would use just the middle finger, but they'll also potentially use the ring finger, and I also use the pinky finger sometimes to get like big kind of rolling things. Also, you can use it to save time between
Yeah.
like your bigger kind of arpeggios.
If you're in a pinch and you
Hey.
need to string skip,
If you're in a pinch
And you need to
string
string
skip,
skip.
use hybrid picking.
you
That's
can
our
quote me
advertisement.
on that.
Right. Well, I just did, yeah.
Yeah.
So I would hybrid pick something like that. So I have like a run that has ascending 4, so I'm going up 4 notes, and then back down 3 and going up another 4. So I'm using a lot of legato and stuff like that, but I'm also using my middle and my ring finger to sort of, I guess you could think about it like being lazy, because you don't want to do a lot of extra work. You're like, like it's a lot of extra
Yeah,
stuff to
because
do.
string skipping is hard sometimes.
Yeah, well, this one doesn't have any string skipping, but this would. I feel like going this way, one of the things I think about hybrid picking is like, it would be great if I had fingers on this side of my thumb, but it would look really bad.
And you like
Yeah.
hybrid pick lower
I
notes?
mean, that'd be great,
An
because,
occasional lower note.
right, even if I just had one finger, but I don't think he would be with me if I had a finger above my thumb like that.
But if we all did,
If
if everybody did, it
Yeah,
wouldn't be
that's
weird.
true. Yeah, well, then I wouldn't even be talking about
But
it.
then
'cause it'd be like hybrid picking
how would this work?
How would what work?
You have another
yeah.
finger
cut
there.
that finger off.
Oh.
Yeah, amputate that finger, but keep this one.
Okay.
Yeah. So we'll be holding a personal body modification clinic after this as well. Just, really just
Yeah.
experimenting with adding fingers and.
We dabble in
Sure.
in the
Yeah.
body modification surgeries.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
This one. I probably wouldn't hybrid pick that.
I
I
feel
can't
like
see where you
again
would.
the Wild West is happening here, and I'm like a mixture of going for it with the pick and then going for it with my finger.
This is a difficult one. I also wouldn't legato much of this just because I feel like, although it's pretty fast.
I would definitely legato. I would
This
definitely-
turnaround is tough.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's probably the toughest part. I might hybrid pick that. Can I
Yeah.
try this real slow? See if I can get it while following the tab. How do you turn the tempo down?
Yeah, that's a premium feature.
Oh, I see.
You can only do it
That's fine.
100% speed or
Okay,
best.
let's see if I can do it here. Yeah, I would hybrid pick that probably.
The very ending?
That sounds so cool. That's such a cool arpeggio, dude. Let's see if we have any questions online from anybody here. Anybody online have questions? We now have 240 people watching us on stream, which is very, very nice. I've got lots of people asking me my hand size. I don't really know how to answer that. I've got lots of
Just give an estimate. I don't know.
5.
Size 5.
Size 5, yeah. Lots of people are just saying numbers, which I don't understand. What did we name your new guitar? Do you have a name for that guitar?
It's my Reanimator guitar. That's what I keep
Right,
saying.
Yeah, that one's a cool.
Everybody seen Reanimator?
It's like a.
1985. It's an H.P. Lovecraft story.
Oh yes, that's very, very cool.
It's a really cool movie.
We're both playing Kiesel guitars, which are custom-made guitars in
American made.
Escondido, California,
That's
Southern
true.
California.
Yeah.
I'm playing an 8-string guitar. You're playing a measly little 6-string guitar.
Yeah, for my measly little hands.
Sure, yeah. The 8-string really makes me feel like a tough
You're a
guy.
big man.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It's a man's
You'll
guitar.
notice I haven't even touched these strings.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Has anybody? That's the first time I've actually touched it, probably today, which is interesting. Oh man, do you think you got it?
You want to play it together?
Yeah. Try it real slow. So, try it even slower than that. Halftime, yeah. That was sick. Try it again.
It's hard. It's hard.
It's hard.
Oh.
It's fine. Dude, you're killing it. Try again. I think we should try. Try one more time, see if we can get a little faster, and then we'll move on.
Okay.
All right. Okay, so did you end up hybrid picking that last part?
I'm hybrid picking more than just the last part.
Well, okay, very good. All right.
Much more than. I feel like each exercise is ramping up in difficulty.
I see.
This one looks even crazier.
This one looks crazy.
This one looks
Yeah,
terrifying to me.
You know what? Let's pull up the video real quick because I have the video of him playing it. So, oh my God, not that one.
That one is not going to be the same.
This is the one we just tried. Oh, the pentatonic one before this last one. And you'll notice that the sound has a nice 1980s kind of quality to it.
Yeah.
That's the one we just learned.
He's playing it so fast.
Yeah, it sounds so awesome.
It's impossibly fast. Only if you're Paul Gilbert.
How come our crowd hasn't been cheering like this?
Yeah.
What's going on? This is like, thank you.
Oh,
Very
thanks,
good,
yeah.
thank you. That's fast, dude. And he does this cool bend. Okay, so
It's so good.
what's cool is the very next thing that we have might be a very similar kind of sequence. It sounded
It's
kinda,
again, it looks like a string skipping thing, but it looks even crazier, man.
It does look crazier. No, it's got a lead-in note to it, which is kind of interesting. So the ending, we have this, but we know this for the most part. 6 counts.
Oh, we're doing the ending?
No, we're gonna hear it.
Oh.
Okay, so it does a push note at the very beginning of the bar here.
Push note? Why don't you tell people what a push note is?
What is a push note?
I mean, are you
I didn't-
talking about like a pickup note?
No, but it's not really.
push note
It's
then?
like I feel like this 16th fret here is like the note that the arpeggio starts on.
That's where the phrase is going to repeat, you're saying? If it does indeed repeat, which this time looks like
Oh boy.
it doesn't.
No, I don't think it does. Uh-oh. I don't think it does actually. I think what happens is it does a similar sequence to the part that we already learned.
It modulates to a different,
Ooh, modulates.
or maybe it doesn't modulate, maybe diatonic, but it changes chords.
Oh boy. Oh man,
Oh,
this is
boy.
way crazier than the one before it. Yeah, this one has like some. It has some repeating of.
Ooh, I don't like it.
Has anybody gotten to something where they're playing and then they get so frustrated that they stop trying to learn it? Let me move by like a show of hands. How many people have gotten to that point where you try to learn
Rage
something?
quit something?
Okay, so to everybody, oh yeah, yeah.
Like, I don't know, every day? Every day?
To everybody watching on stream, pretty much nearly everybody in the room put out their hands to the question, do you ever rage quit on guitar? I feel like that's a pretty common thing.
Yeah, I don't see you do that very much. I do that a lot.
No, I mean I do it also. I just don't do it in the same sort of like fashion as you do.
And what fashion is that?
Swearing,
Pray
yelling on
tell.
your side of the your side of the apartment.
So angry.
Our apartment
yeah.
is set up where we have like
Stations.
Okay,
They're
yeah, stations. Yeah,
stations,
okay.
yeah.
So she calls them our stations.
I have a
They're just
station.
like our desks. I mean, it's not really a
Yeah.
station.
It's
But
your
for the
practice
sake-
station.
For the sake of our marriage, I'll call it a station. I'll adhere to your
Right.
terminology.
Yeah.
They're recording things on the other side of the room. So basically, we're sitting at home and we both have guitars and we're trying to learn something or we're trying to do something or whatever. You are oftentimes a little bit more vocal about your frustration than I am, but that's fine.
I'm just more vocal in general. I often talk to myself, and then you're like, "What are you saying?" And I'm like, "I'm not talking to you. I'm not talking to you. I'm just
That's
talking
true.
to myself."
So, so when you hit that sort of frustration, what do you do? Like, what's your like
Well, actually, I have a very recent example.
of rage quitting?
Well, no, not of rage quitting, but like leaving feeling defeated, I guess.
Right. Okay.
Because I went to film doing like an attempt to learn by myself.
Right.
And I was trying to do this theme from an Yngwie Malmsteen thing.
Mm.
And I definitely did not think I was going to get 100% speed in
Sure.
one sitting. Like, that's outrageous.
That is outrageous.
But I was hoping that, 80% or 90%, it might sounded like okay at the end of it, and it didn't. It didn't. It was like super sloppy in that speed range.
Right.
And I filmed it, so
Yeah.
it's sort of like especially when you're filming something, you want there to be like a clear path, and
progression.
the end of that path you have like succeeded in something.
Yes.
But I
Yeah.
sort of like, I sound decent at 70%. Maybe should have stopped there, but then like ended the video playing it much worse
Right.
at 80-90%. So
Right.
yeah, it doesn't feel like great.
No.
I didn't play guitar for the rest of the day.
I feel like
so.
one of the I feel like one of the best things to do if you're getting something really difficult, if you just let your brain sort of digest the information and you come back 20 minutes later or 15 minutes later even, like I wouldn't suggest taking the guitar away and putting it down or anything, but like I always try to keep it and play something that I'm good at and then go back to the thing that I was struggling with, and that's a technique that I've used that has helped me learn really, really difficult stuff. And maintain focus on it rather than stopping playing, because and it also happens with writing music as well.
Yeah, and then also there's like, I don't know if you guys have experienced this, but you just feel like every single thing you're playing that day sounds like garbage, even when you go to play something that you think you're generally pretty good at.
Yeah.
And you think just everything sounds like garbage. So if you are aware that you're in like a worse mental state that day, maybe you shouldn't go try to learn like a brand new thing or something that sounds really challenging.
That's true.
You should maybe not play guitar that day at all, or try to learn something really easy and like bring back your esteem level.
It's all about the confidence level and how you're feeling about your own guitar playing.
Because I've definitely felt that, where like
Yeah.
I play something one day and I'm like, man, this sounds so garbage, I should just quit everything. And then the next day you play the same thing and you're like, it sounds pretty good.
It sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
Technique practice days.
Technique, that's a good call. Yeah, just doing the technique.
That's a good point.
Or also like something I like to do a lot is if it's just like a really monotonous thing, you put on like a TV show or something, a half-hour TV show, and then you're not playing through an amp or anything, and you're just doing that thing over and over and over again. So especially if you feel like everything you play sounds terrible, make it so you can't hear what you're doing.
Somebody said something really nice on stream. Claire plays with her heart and it's better. Play with your heart.
Who
That's
said
nice.
that? Who said that? Thank you,
Asia.
Asia Zeus.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah,
Thank you,
that's
Asia
very
Zeus.
cute.
Wow.
comment.
So a god has complimented me.
Zeus.
Yeah, Zeus complimented me. I don't like that joke.
Can I
not a
try
good
this
joke.
once and then we'll move on to the thing that's after this, which is very different? Because I feel like this has a lot of like
Similarities.
Yeah, one of the things about this video too is Paul Gilbert is improvising some of this stuff, and so his technique is like he might be intending to do something, but then it ends up slightly different, and it's all stuff that he's just so good at because he has been practicing and this kind of stuff and been amazing since he was 15 years old or 14 years old, which is just crazy.
I wish I wasn't even playing guitar at that point.
That's true. You think you got something?
No, you go for it.
Okay, I'm going to run through real quick, and then we'll do the next part, which is a more kind of heavy, picky kind of thing.
No, you know what? You're going to play full speed right now.
I'm not going to. I'm not going to be able to. No, there's just no way. It's very fast.
Yeah.
Oh, man, it's really cool.
Yeah, it's so hard though. Are you picking up on any repeated sequences there? Like, are you...
Not really. Yeah, the tough thing is he starts on the 13th fret on the G string, and then goes up, and he does a pretty easy kind of pattern, but then he goes back to the 12th fret. And then he goes to a diminished, or to a minor thing. Oh, it's just a straight up new sequence. It's all repeated.
No, that's so cool.
It's super cool. Okay, let's get to that next part, which is really different. It's very,
really
very different.
different?
Yeah, it's, I would say probably just try to pick a lot of this stuff, but I mean, I don't know. Do you want to give it a shot? Yeah, it's like 3 note per string to start. Oh no, it's 5 note per string, dude. Oh, it's like quintuplets. Okay.
Quintuplets.
You ready?
Oh, you want to try it?
No, you
together
won't.
here?
You-
Yeah, how fast is it?
It's really, really fast.
152
Okay, here.
is the speed quintuplets.
Yeah,
do.
I've got it on the video here.
That's crazy.
Super cool.
Yeah.
That's the part.
That's what we're not doing that right now.
Okay. So.
Do you guys want to hear what it sounds like a third of that speed? Because we'll do that for
Okay,
you.
so we can learn the.
What's the name of this?
It's the Tokyo Solo 1999. Oh, it's in 1999. He's wearing those pants in 1999, dude.
Wow.
What's going on? Okay, so if we were to look at this slowly.
Are you gonna do the legato that's listed there? Oh, that's weird. I don't know. Like
Quintuplets.
I expect to. I want to go back to the B string, but it doesn't.
Okay, so check it out. So it's a repeating thing, but he does some hammer-ons. How does it sound like with your amp on? Great, and that repeats.
And it repeats.
Yeah, that repeats 8
and
times.
then 8 times.
Okay, wait.
Oh.
Let's see if we can play together.
Oh.
He does a bend there at
Oh.
some point. I'm not sure if I did the exact amount. But
You didn't do it. That was not 8 times.
I didn't do it. Yeah, it's cool, but this actually, if we're gonna pick all the notes, we're gonna have to do something very in depth with our right hand. It's called Pickslanting. You know about Pickslanting.
I know about Pickslanting.
Who here doesn't know about Pickslanting? Okay, Pickslanting. It's I saw a room half full of people going like this, just for anybody online. It's basically, it's something I learned like a year ago or something, and I've been playing guitar for 20 something years, so I like didn't know about this until pretty recently. It's when you take your pick and you angle it this way or this way, depending on the next string that you're going to be hitting. Basically, if you have a group of strings, you need to angle your pick so that you can have an exit strategy outside of that group of strings. If I had my pick totally flat and I was playing 4 notes per string, you can notice I don't have to move my hand very much. But if I play 3 note per string, I have to get exit strategies out of the strings, otherwise I'll be stuck. It's very, the thing about it is explaining it is kind of like, oh, but I already kind of do that. But until you know that you do it, people, once they find that out, they're like, oh, Pickslanting has really changed my entire guitar playing, even though it's sort of something that you would do instinctively. But once you understand how to practice it, it becomes way, it unlocks a bunch of stuff in your guitar playing. So if we're doing 5 note per string, dude, so we're picking those strings, and you can see my hand will change angle. Because when we're doing a down, starting on a downstroke, down, up, down, if I don't angle my hand back, I won't be able to get to the B string without hitting that E string on my way there. So I have to switch my hand this way so I can do an upstroke cleanly.
Without like hitting the other string.
Yeah, it's all about trying to keep your strings clean sounding.
Why don't you talk about your thumb also? Because you were doing that.
I also do that. I do a lot of this kind of motion, which is very strange. It's strange to get into practicing, but once you do, then it adds a lot of stuff to your guitar playing as well. I find like adding techniques into your playing makes you write cooler stuff. So if you're trying to write cool music, adding a new technique is only going to help you. It's going to give you a new tool so that you can then apply it to a new writing composition idea, which is what happened with that. that technique. It's all of a sudden changed my entire guitar playing because now I can do more like the word nimble comes to mind. Have you ever heard me use the word nimble?
Maybe only as a joke.
Okay, well, it makes my guitar playing more nimble. Very nimble guitar playing. So, how are you with this?
It's difficult.
All right.
How long do you think it took you to get fast with that? It's like I don't do that, and I'm very new to trying to practice that, but it's very slow going.
It probably took me a good 6 months to get comfortable with it.
Doing it every day?
I was doing it pretty much every day. I had like an exercise that I would pick up my guitar, not for like a long time every day, but it was like when I would pick up my guitar, I would do this exercise. Better than that, but anyway, it's mostly this. You can see I'm trying to isolate my index and my thumb as much as I can, but it's tough to do it. But once you get there, then it'll make its way into your playing in really weird spots, and you'll be like, oh, damn, I didn't know I was going to start doing this little wiggly motion here.
Yeah.
I'd like to come up with a name for it. Basically, the only name I've ever heard is scalpel picking, which is a bad name. So wiggly picking?
Yeah, I've never heard this referred to as something.
What's your proposed name for it? Nimbly picking?
Nimble
pick.
Nimble pick?
Nimble pick sounds bad.
You guys have any suggestions?
Does anybody have, maybe
let's come
anybody
up with a
online?
new term.
We have 200, almost 300 people
What's your
watching.
It's not circular picking.
It's not, well, circular picking is sort of, I actually have no idea. I thought, I was like, maybe it's this. I was like, no, I have
Maybe
no
if
idea.
you were doing circles with your thumb.
Circular picking
But yours is going like up and down like a little creature. Like
creature picking?
creature picking?
Oh man, that's a pretty good one. Okay, well, once we find out some suggestions for names, we'll come back to that in a second. We have that part. Let's hear what the next. Let's hear what the next. Please don't hit me in the head.
Sorry.
That's okay.
I thought we didn't play that part together, did we?
Oh, dude. All right. Well, the song is at 152. I'm gonna throw on a metronome and see if we can play it.
At 152.
No, not at 152. I'll do it slower.
A metronome with the quintuplets.
Yeah. No, it's not that fast.
This is where metronome playing can get really difficult. Like if you're doing an odd grouping,
That's a
like
good
a
point.
group of 5 or a group of 7, because you're like naturally you will want to force it into a group of 4.
That's what I was
or a
trying
group
to
of
do.
8 or something. Yeah, like to hear that click. I think it would be better to see if you can vocalize it first. Like have the clicking going 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 5.
Whoa, you got a bunch of good suggestions today. What's going on?
1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4.
No,
Is it really
but
fast?
this is at 152. There's a definite pulse there.
Yeah.
So,
1 2 3 4 5.
but I feel like 152 quarter note. I'm at 110 quarter note. That feels like it's not even that much slower.
Does that mean these are no? Those have to be quintuple. 1 2 3 4 5.
Okay. At 100, that actually might be a bit easier. And when he, oh, Roger printed out some tabs. Oh, thanks.
Just so you guys can follow along what's going on.
When we're putting the pulse somewhere, he's putting the pulse on the first note, and then the 16th fret of the next string is the next pulse.
I don't know if they're exactly accurate.
That's actually helpful because it's when you're turning back around you would accent it.
Yeah, Paul Gilbert's always talked about trying to put the downstroke in a spot where you can sort of emphasize it, and that might help him get more on time. I actually feel like we both sort of got it easier that way.
Do you want to try it together? I don't know if we'll be able to do that first.
Yeah, I think that's it. Okay, try it together. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh boy, that's hard.
Guitar 16.
29.
29.
For the one that we have, I think it's
I think, yeah, I think it is 16. It looks like it's right.
16 for us. It's pretty close anyway.
That's cool. Actually, it doesn't do the. If you're, are you picking every note?
Trying to, yeah.
Okay, so if you pick every note, actually it puts an accent on the upstroke.
Yeah.
Okay, try one more time and then move on.
How many times are we doing that measure before we go?
I don't know. Whatever. We'll probably do this and then one other riff. So we'll just see if
Yeah.
we
Well,
see if we
yeah,
can get
because
this
I gotta.
pattern.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
See if you can try.
No, do it together.
Okay. 2, 3. Dude, does that feel really weird?
Yeah. Yeah.
Weird.
I'm almost like tuning out the click, honestly.
That's really?
Yeah.
In what? What do you mean? Like, you're
Like
not
I'm
listening
really
to it?
not paying attention to it. Yeah. I was
Hmm.
more so just trying to like stick with you.
Yeah, stick with me, man. Who here practices to a click or metronome all the time? Very often? Sort of? So-so?
I try to every day.
So-so? I'm seeing a lot of these types of fans. It's a good thing to do, but I mean...
It's so annoying. I mean, like,
You're a teacher at this
No. That's
it's
like
so annoying.
That's what pretty much all my students' gripes are. You try to put them on a click track,
Oh,
and it's
for
very
sure.
annoying for them. They don't like it. It's
For
hard
sure.
to get on. And yeah, I understand that. It's like tick, tick,
Yeah.
tick.
Yeah.
It can be very annoying.
It is grating to listen to. It's nicer to play to drums or something like that.
Yeah.
But
I got around it because that was a big gripe with me when I was learning with him. He tried to get me on that tick track.
Yeah.
And I just found the different, like you can find drum tracks on YouTube that go up incrementally in 5s, 10s,
Yeah.
really easily. So
Mm.
I was just doing that, really simple.
I remember, yeah, you were using a lot of drum
A
tracks.
lot of drum
Yep.
tracks, and that
Yeah.
helped me because I don't like listening to the tick track either. But
Yeah.
drum tracks on YouTube, definitely.
For sure.
helped.
Yeah. You want to do one more?
Sure.
Okay, let's find another. Let's find another thing.
Cool one.
Oh man, there's so much cool stuff here.
What's up with that one?
Okay, here. Let me pull up the video and we'll hear what the coolest
What's
thing
going
is.
on here?
All right,
He suddenly he just suddenly gets faster.
Because he's not playing. He's playing by himself
Oh, that's cool.
with those pants.
Oh, look at that! Look at that! He goes faster, faster.
Yeah, just faster and faster. Okay, so this is the part we just learned. And he does a big bend, and when he does that bend, he puts
Oh,
his
he does-
guitar behind his head, which is interesting. I don't want to learn this part. Let's find
so
let's
cool.
find a very different part.
Um,
Okay, that one's pretty different. It's got a repeating part, and it's
Wow.
actually where we are right now. On our tab, it's bar 43, but
Our tab is finished now, but at least everybody knows what song you're working on. I think
Right.
the Songster tab that you have is more accurate than what we have.
oh, great.
Yeah. So
Well, that's good
give
for
you
me.
some frame of reference what they already worked on. Or whatever.
That's great for me. What I wanted to do with, or what we wanted to do with this clinic is sort of just like, this is how I would learn music, and I feel like this is pretty much how anybody would learn music. You find a tab online, you just start learning, and if it sounds wrong, then you move on to something else. If it doesn't, then you start learning it, and you get pretty far, and then maybe one note sounds weird, and you're like, that note's wrong, and you change it. But like, this is such a good starting point for learning new music. It's
Yeah.
just finding some free thing online,
How often?
or going downstairs and buying something
Yeah.
along with it.
How often do you try to learn something by ear?
When I was teaching a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would pretty much mostly just do by ear, try to figure it out by ear. But
Anybody here try to learn stuff by ear?
a few
Yeah,
hands go
lots
up.
of people.
Yeah, actually, probably
good.
half the people here.
You guys feel like you're pretty good at that sort of thing? No?
For improvising solos with the band on the spot, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
I
yeah.
always get the fingers wrong because you go to the simplest solution
Right.
and that's usually not the right solution.
Yeah, trying to figure out we
I was
actually.
gonna ask you guys how you would advise people to figure out fingerings based on your experience. Because
We-
most of these tabs don't have them.
So the idea is, how do we figure out fingerings for
Yeah.
things that we learn by ear?
Yeah, or tabs that don't
Or tabs.
specify.
I feel
I
like
think-
you have a different view than I do because you have a bit more of a formal background.
It's
And
classical is like
classical
super
guitar.
specific.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that like fingerings are just meant to help you be the most efficient, right? Like the least
Yeah.
you can move your hand, the better. So if you need to like read ahead a little bit. If you see the 15th fret in one, but then the next one is like 17th fret, you probably don't want to play that with your pinky because then you have to jump over here. So just think about that in yourself. And like also ring finger to pinky, I would never do that.
It's
that's,
hard.
That's like disgusting.
That feels disgusting.
Yeah,
Well,
that
yeah.
feels
Oh,
disgusting.
2 frets apart.
Yeah,
I
2
wouldn't even
frets
be
on
able
a
to do
string
that.
apart.
I've never seen anything like that anyway.
Yeah.
I feel like this is pretty common,
Yeah.
but I mean, oftentimes I would still even do that. For me, it kind of depends on how much time you have between the notes of the same finger.
Yeah.
So like if you're playing 15th fret with your pinky, and then you go to the 12th fret, and then you play another note with your pinky, I just spat on my guitar, it gives you enough time to sort of get your pinky there.
Yeah.
And this is a pretty good motion.
The pinky is a bad finger, and that's the other thing. A lot of
I disagree.
that type of shape.
This is most of the arguments in our apartment is, the pinky is, you strengthen your pinky for
totally fine
guitar.
finger.
You know?
Well, that's what I wanted to talk about, because a lot of people will just not use their pinky, or like a
Right.
like a classic minor shape.
Mhm.
People will either use the ring finger and the pinky, or use the middle finger and the
Right.
ring finger. And my favorite guitarist is Vogue from Decapitated,
Yeah,
and
a death metal band.
he
from
would always do this shape like that.
Yeah.
And just because I want to be him, I will do the same thing, even though it's not necessarily good for my playing.
You do want to be him.
I just want to sound exactly like him, so
Yeah.
I will copy whatever he does, even if it's potentially detrimental for my playing.
Yeah.
So maybe
Fair
I'm not the best to ask about fingering.
Yeah. Disregard everything she just said.
Yeah, don't
No,
listen
no,
to me.
no. It makes sense. I feel
Yeah.
like classical guitar for you definitely trained you to set positions, which is a big thing.
Mhm.
That's probably the most important thing is setting positions. When you're trying to figure out something, you see all the notes somewhere, and you're like, is this the best use of one position of my hand on the guitar? And if it's not, then change a note to make it make sense, or change positions and play it somewhere else. But
Yeah, because that's also another thing. Oftentimes, tabs will have like a note on a different string, but maybe it makes more sense to play that same note on
Yeah.
the same string.
yeah.
Like, I don't know why. I don't know, maybe sometimes people just like tab it out using the notes, and then they're not thinking about the actual tab itself.
Somebody here said they saw Decapitated last night and they were amazing. Very jealous.
That's
Okay,
right.
so we've got this. It says here it's bar 43. I'm gonna. Do you want to try it? It's not very fast, I don't think.
I thought we heard him do it, and it was insane.
No, this one.
And he gets faster and faster, is the point here.
All right, well, learn the shape. Hey, that's really cool.
That is
Wait. What is that? Dude, how are you playing that? With the middle finger there?
Oh,
That's the tough part.
yeah.
Oh man, with the middle finger, dude.
What were you doing?
No, that's probably what I would do also. You know what? Actually, you know what's funny is I've never learned this before, and now that I'm watching this tab,
Yeah.
it's really fast, and he actually messes it up there a little bit. He does like a double thing.
Oh, that harmonic is, or whatever he's hitting sounds really cool. Okay, also,
But it makes sense why he messes it.
I
it
think
changes it
he's
a little
doing this, dude.
bit. Wait. Okay.
Because
well,
his
sorry.
middle finger looks free. So again, on fingerings, he's doing that,
That's what he's doing.
which is disgusting.
Yeah.
I could never.
Yeah. So he's using his ring finger.
I mean, how fast can you play that without using your middle finger, dude?
Without using my middle finger.
Yeah. All right, it didn't stop you at all. Didn't hold you back.
Actually, I get some of those harmonics too.
I
do kind of hate it.
Yeah, I despise that. I
Just a
despise
grimace.
that. I despise that.
Just a real grimace.
Yeah.
Okay, well, does anybody have any questions in the last 5 minutes of this session? Anybody have any questions about anything that we did, or anything you're working on, or anything that... Yes, you in the front, sir.
Whoever you are. Based on all this time that you spent learning crazy material,
Mm-hmm.
do you have advice to give people, kind of one of those, now that you know what you know now, what would you do different, starting out learning these kind of technical approaches?
I think she has an answer.
No,
So-
I'm not ready to answer that yet. I want to think
Okay.
on
So
it.
the question is, what would I say to myself
Your former self?
Yeah, sure.
before I started learning crazier stuff on guitar to help me get better?
Yeah, maybe reduce the time, because obviously getting here takes 20 years, you know.
Mhm.
I
Could
think
you cut it down if you had a chance to talk to yourself?
I think the big thing for me is try to, like, I used to tell my students, like, ride the waves of frustration. And that's a big thing because you can get really frustrated and then you'll drop down with the frustration and you'll start being productive again and then you'll feel it come on. If you can just hit those, like distract yourself for those high points and be really productive for the low points of frustration, that's going to help you. But as soon as you do this, then you're putting yourself, if you put your guitar away, then you're putting yourself at a disadvantage. Because there's been times where it applies to writing too. I'll be writing a solo or writing something, and I'll be at the computer sitting with my guitar for an hour, and I'll write one section of 10 notes, and I'll be like, that was great. I'll take a break, and then I'll think for a second. If I take a break, I'll stop writing music. So I'm just going to keep going. And the best music I've ever written is when I've stayed in that chair with my guitar for 4 hours trying to write something and not putting my guitar away, even though my fingers hurt really bad at the end. But it's because I took a break, but not by taking the guitar away, but actually just by like distracting myself for a second. But usually on guitar, something I'm good at. So like I'm good at, I don't know, like some generic stuff. This thing, I'm good at that. I don't know. So I'll sit there and I'll practice that, and in my mind I'll be like, I'm really practicing getting better at this. It's like, not really. I've already know how to do it. But because I'm practicing something that I'm not good at, when I'm sort of like getting that low point of frustration, it just allows me to keep going. So I don't know, just be more mindful of how your brain learns stuff and how quickly you get frustrated, and try to prevent yourself from leaving the guitar behind.
Yeah.
Psychologically, so that's helpful. How about like physical things? Like actual like...
I also have an answer. I would want to tell myself two things, and one is similar to what you have, and it's as long as you're practicing, you are getting better. Yeah. And me, I'm not as bad with the rage quits anymore, but so often I was that person that's like just so angry that I couldn't do the thing, or I thought it sounded terrible, and I just put it away, and I'm too angry, and then I don't play guitar for days because I'm just like, man, why am I even bothering? Like that sort of mentality. Yeah. But if I just like had the understanding, or could like really accept that really like any practice is good practice, and there's definitely better practice methods than others, but if you are practicing, you are getting better, and eventually you will sound better at that, and it takes a long time. Like you can't play something perfectly the first time you ever try it. Like you're gonna sound bad at first, and that's what learning is. And then the other thing that I would have wanted to tell myself more on a more technical aspect, and something that I still need to listen to, is that I have a tendency to play something just start to finish. Like I'll look at the beginning of the song and I'll go straight to the end. And
you'll play it without memorizing it, right?
Yeah, and I will just look at the entire song, and I'll just go like back and forth and do the whole song. And it's so important to take apart little sections, and if some little part doesn't sound as good as that other thing, why are you practicing the whole thing? Like, take that little part and practice that 10 times as much as the whole rest of the thing. Like, you need to bring up the things that you're not as good at. Yeah. Right? So if you're just practicing everything the exact same amount.
Well, I kind of think about it like parallel parking. If you're like driving around and you never practice parallel parking except for when you need to, then you're going to be kind of bad at parallel parking. You have to practice it and isolate it and drill it so that you can get good at it, so that if you're downtown driving, you can then pull a parallel parking like I do sometimes, and you get really impressed.
Yeah. Best driver I know.
But, yeah, well, thank you. I wasn't forcing that out of you. I was just bringing up driving. I was hoping that you were going to say that, but not because I wanted anybody to be impressed by me, but I just wanted
impressed by you.
Okay. I didn't want you to say that either, but you did say it, and I didn't hold a gun to you or anything to say it, but anyway, so that was pretty much like an hour. I feel like we got pretty far. If we spend another 1 hour not in front of an audience, just focusing directly on this, I feel like you'll probably get a good half of it memorized. I'd say.
We'd get pretty.
It's a lot of repeating things.
We'd get good.
But I think the thing about it that's good for you is you were saying that you have a tendency to just go through the entire thing. This, if you focus on one section, it repeats a lot.
Well, and these are very discernible sections. Like these are different separate riffs, I would feel, but like a song, a song start to finish. I tend to just like learn the whole thing, and I'm not as bad as with that now.
No,
but like when
improved a lot.
When I was first trying to learn, I was really bad with that.
Yeah, you were.
Have any other questions? Any other questions?
Yeah, any other questions before we're done? Hey.
I do.
She does.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Claire teaches here guitar and piano.
Guitar and piano, yeah.
I sit at home and play guitar at home. That's all I do now.
Yeah.
Do you guys play chords?
Chords.
Chords. Yeah, we love a good chord.
I'm just asking because that's all you're just shredding.
Oh.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite chord?
Spy chord.
Oh, but what is a spy chord?
E minor major 7, E minor major 9, which is, that's a great chord.
James Bond chord.
That's a great chord.
My favorite chord is a minor 9 chord.
A minor 9.
Yeah, but any minor 9 chord. It's just easy to play in that position.
That's a good chord.
I love the minor.
Oh.
And I also like major 7s. Major 7 chords.
You know what? This chord's cool too. That's a 1, a 5, a major 7, and a sharp 11. So it's a major 7, sharp 11. It has no 3, so it's a sus sharp 11. Yeah, we like chords, but we don't generally play unless we're teaching it. You know, that kind of stuff. Yeah, any last question before we're done? Hey!
Inspirations for energy and, you know, I don't want to practice today.
Oh, yeah. Like me yesterday.
Yeah.
I didn't pick up my guitar yesterday for some reason. It's crazy. It's really weird. I think that if you have the right creative outlet, then you will pick up your guitar way more often. But it has to be the right creative outlet. Like if you have a project that you're working on, and you're like, oh, I can do this, and it's very open-ended, it can be encouraging, but it can also be kind of limiting because you have too much options. So if you have a group of people that you're playing with and you guys have a pretty kind of clear idea of what you want to sound like, I mean, for me, that's always driven me to play a lot.
Yeah. And also finding music and musicians that really, really inspire you. Like I think for me, the most effective thing I have found is that when I don't want to play guitar and feel like I don't want to have anything to do with music, I will watch either live Decapitated or live Necrophagus videos.
Oh, two death metal bands that we really, really
and
like.
then like the whole rest of the day, the only thing I want to do is play guitar.
That's true.
Because it's so awesome.
Because you imagine yourself on stage just
watching them play like the best music I've ever heard, and they're just absolutely nailing it.
Yeah. So getting inspired by great musicians.
Yeah. So like finding that music that like you hear it and you're like, man, if I could play that, I would just be so happy. And then you watch somebody else do it, and you think about yourself playing that stuff.
Yeah, exactly. All right, well, thanks so much for joining us here. We're in front of 260 people on stream, so hey to everybody that's on stream.
Oh, hey.
Yeah. They're not on my phone, they're over here,
thanks.
or rather your phone.
Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah, thanks for hanging out with us today, and if you have any questions, we'll be hanging out for a bit. I'll be hanging out for a bit. You got to go teach.
In half an hour. But
in half an hour.
Yeah.
But yeah, cool. Thanks,
Thank
guys.
you.
Thanks for coming.
Thanks. Bye, everybody on stream.
Bye.